Today, I finished reading the book of Genesis, and here's a recap. When people usually think about the book of Genesis, they say, okay, it's the beginning of everything, which is very true. But it also lays a theological framework where it shows you how God relates to humanity and how he keeps his promises. In the beginning of Genesis, you will see right away God as the sovereign creator, bringing an ordered life out of chaos. Creation establishes purpose and boundaries and blessings. And then when humanity falls, which is what happened next, Genesis immediately shows us how God responds, which he responds with pursuit, not abandonment, and also with promise. As Genesis moves through the flood and the nations, we see a God who judges rightly while preserving life. In here, mercy and justice are not opposing forces. They are woven together in God's redemptive work. Then with Abraham, we see the focus narrows. God establishes a covenant, not based on human perfection, but on divine faithfulness. That covenant carries through Isaac and Jacob, and often in the midst of fear, deception, and family dysfunction. Then Joseph's story brings this theology in full view. God's sovereignty does not erase human responsibility, yet human choices do not derail God's plan. What looks like delay, injustice, or loss become the very means God uses to preserve life and advance his promises. Then Genesis ends in Egypt. Israel, who was Jacob, dies, holding on to a promise that he will not personally see fulfilled. Joseph spoke hope into the future, trusting that God will remain faithful beyond his lifetime. So reading Genesis reminds me that God works across generations, that his promises are steady, even when fulfillment feels slow. Faith often means trusting God's character when the outcome is still unfolding. So as you read Genesis or read Genesis, let me know, where have you most clearly seen God's faithfulness to his promises? Leave it in the comment. I'm so excited to go into the book of Exodus because we're gonna keep moving. It is we have a lot of ground to cover in 2026. See you next time.